What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z conversation between the generations. I represent the Y, aka Millennial Jay Clark. My partner over there, the young boy, that Gen Z kid, Xavier Lewis. How are you, my brother, this week?
Hey, brother, I'm doing quite amazing. What's going on, everybody out there? What's good with you? Hey, Clark, what you been up to, man?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to some music and I got stuck on Teddy Swim's. I've been stuck on Teddy Swim's album this week, and it dropped last year, but I've just been late to the party. I've been stuck on it, and yeah.
Bro, y'all, in full transparency, I did not know who Teddy Swims was 5 minutes ago.
If you don't know who Teddy
I,
Swims is, listen, you need to, yeah.
you need to hop on this guy, bro. You need to hop on this guy. Like, so serious. He's a I only heard like maybe 75% of that of some things I used to know.
No. You
Uh,
you heard the first verse because it's a full song, two verses, the bridge. Yeah, no, you heard the first verse and chorus. Yeah.
okay. With that
Anyways,
being said,
yeah,
there
that's
is
wrapping up.
still so
Been
much to be learned about him.
been stuck on that. Been stuck on that. But yeah, what we do here is we talk about life between the generations, and that could range from anything like music, sports, crazy question. Who knows? You never know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. Last week you were really excited about some area. Yeah. Where are we going this week, my brother?
Hey, bro, and we left out on it last week, and I gotta say on it, especially when it comes to it. We gonna stick with Black Music Month, Black Music History Month, and just celebrating Black music, right? The month
Mm-hmm.
of June, and we are just some music heads in all spaces, especially because I mean, let's be honest, Black music has affected all genres of music. We talking jazz, we talking classical, we talking rock, we talking rock and roll, hip hop, jazz, R&B, our gospel, Christian.
Country,
It's
Western, all,
affected
all that. Yeah.
every genre of music within Black people. But I think what was so pertinent about how we got to this point is it was a community. It wasn't just one person or, several people thinking, oh, I'm gonna just do this and that's it. I'm doing this. I'm out here by myself. I ain't got nobody else. I'm doing this. I don't need nobody else. That was never the consensus with how Black music got to this point. And I see it in my generation. Hi, guys. As a representative of Generation Z, I must say that is one way we're just missing the mark. This lack of community that we have within like each other. And I think it's because we have a misguided understanding of 90s hip hop. And I'm gonna tell you why that is. I think we fantasize, in my generation, we fantasize a lot of the beef, thinking that, oh, they did this by themselves, they did this by themselves, not recognizing that was just for the public. Still behind closed doors, it's community. It's still understanding that, okay, I got your back, you got mine. Let's ride this thing out together. Nowadays, there's no community, man. There literally is no community. There is no community.
I mean, it's the world y'all have grown up in, unfortunately. Like, it's community for y'all goes even outside the music. Like y'all
Real?
have such an individualized experience of the world. But community was literally taken, like, not even offered to you. Y'all, it was offered. Y'all were offered your own thing, and y'all quickly took it. Which nobody, I can't necessarily blame you, but I mean, yeah, partially what community was simply because we all had to share the same thing. Like
Right, right.
we weren't curating our own experiences on our phones or laptop, or it was we were all watching the same episode of TRL at the same time. We were all watching the same episode of 106 in Park at the same time.
Bring
We
back
were all
106 and Park.
watching the same episode of Soul Train at the same time. Like, there's something to be said about experience, even if not being in the same space,
Def Comedy
knowing
Jam.
knowing the moment you're having that experience at the same time. Like, it ain't no, oh yeah, I caught the Soul Train episode this morning. Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch it when it come on. No, if you didn't catch it then, you missed it. And so there's something that community is built around that, because then it's okay, yeah, you're sharing that experience in your gatherings and your conversations and stuff.
Right. Do you think like a facet of missing out on community is because we have so much available, right? Because sometimes scarcity brings forth community, right? Knowing that there is limited, knowing that you kind of, I mean, kind of like what you said, there was limited wealth, there was limited resources. So whoever had it knew, okay, this ain't just for me, this is for me and, right? But is it almost our greater access to things? Do you think it's causing us to be more like, nah, this mine? Can't nobody else get in on
Well,
this?
no, it's twofold. Because you said what you just said was the fact that yes, it's that it was limited in what's being put out, and so it's not just being made for you. It was being, you're casting the wide audience net, so to say. Whereas nowadays, we're so able to target you personally in digital spaces and clearly create something just for you. Yeah, you're missing out on it on both ends. There's no need to do the wide generalized thing because we're able to target you and create your own thing. And therefore, since we're so simply targeting you on who you are or individualistic characteristics of you, that we're not generating anything to get multiple people. If it does grab multiple people, great, but that's not a pursuit anymore. It's a being so specific with target demos and that kind of nature
Right.
that
I
yeah.
think I think even in like the social media space, it's literally ridiculous. I think in the TikTok social media space, particularly, if somebody goes viral on Facebook, Instagram, you can expect to meet somebody else and be like, oh, do you know who this is? But TikTok is wild. A person could have millions of followers, millions of views, and they have never touched my For You page. I
When's the
don't
last
even know who they are.
When's the last time you really heard of something truly going viral like back in the day? It doesn't happen now because the algorithm became that much of a piece of thing that I can control versus just being, things being able to get popular just simply because of everybody was checking out versus now I can control who sees what and who like it's all the money grab. But yeah, when's the
Right,
last
right.
time you really heard of something going that viral that we all it's been a long time.
Well, I think, excuse me for yawning. I think what it really, really is, I mean, it's kind of like you would have said. And even in the aspect of like community, as far as people holding you accountable, really, really big thing. My generation is not even just accountable, like having somebody else to just kind of be around you that's not always hyping you up. One thing that I love about a true friend gonna let you know, okay, this trash. Okay, that ain't it. Like, I love you. You my homeboy, you my home girl. But this ain't it. You need to go back to the drawing board. Like, do you think that in our making or life kind of being like, okay, it's gonna be individualistic, it has caused us to not be able to take criticism, even from those closest to
Well,
us?
y'all can't take criticism because y'all just think y'all the shit don't stink. That's be like for some whatever reason y'all just think y'all are entitled to everything. Like y'all are so sensitive and fragile. Y'all don't even take positive criticism that well. Like it's y'all.
Right,
I don't know what it is about y'all with that, but yeah, like I said, part of it is simply this is the world y'all got grown up in.
right,
Um, and it's sad. It really is sad because I think your experience is so much different than anybody else's, and it's contributing in this crazy time that we're moving forward in to really some uncertainty because it's pretty much as if what's come before doesn't really matter. We're in that space where it's like what's come before is done, like that is a past era, but we have no idea what's coming forward, and it's scary.
nah, nobody does, man. Nobody understands what's next. And that's why, like we said a few episodes ago, I guess that's why everybody is really, really glorifying, I miss the old days. And there's no more excitement for the push forward And I think it's just because it's so much uncertainty. There has never been this much uncertainty about what the future holds until now.
Because I think we've realized because it's funny. Me and my wife were watching a not some '90s documentary the other night, and we're just sitting there like,
Hey, man, hold on, pause. Hey, man, happy anniversary again, man.
"Thank
Clark
you,
out here being married and stuff,
9 years. Thank you.
having married people sex. Ain't that crazy?
It's wonderful." Anyways, we can get that into another episode. But anyways, back to what I was saying here. We was watching this '90s documentary, and one of the things is just like that era was so full of hope. Like
Right.
even like, and nothing was perfect. Things were perfect, but there was this like spirit of hopefulness. Like, oh, like there's better times ahead. Like we're progressing forward. Thing we know we're not great. We're not done yet, but things aren't what they used to be, and we're kind of making progress forward. And yeah, that spirit is just gone right now. And just kind of like, yeah, we're heading towards the dystopian future that everybody painted for us, but we were too dumb to get away from, apparently. Um, and yeah,
Watch this. Do you think if that sense of community were reestablished sort of kind of way in this generation, do you think that could still? Well, I mean, I think the answer is yes. I mean, I think the answer is yes. I think if community were instilled back heavily into this generation, I think it provides a hope. I think the lack of hope comes from the lack of community. I mean, because don't get me wrong, we've gone through some pretty dark times as Black people. But one of the biggest hopes were that even in dark times, we still got each other. But what happens when we don't even got each other? It's so individualistic. It's so geared to just one person, not a people.
I don't even know where you want me to go for that. It's Y and Z conversation between the generations. Get a little deep on this here evening. I mean, just yeah, yeah. Anyways, um, Father's Day is coming up this weekend, and
Woo.
I saw something come across my timeline this week where, and I'll put a picture up of the post, um, where this the parents bought the 16-year-old girl her first car. And as you see in the post, it was a busted old Buick, and she was not happy about it. And let it be known, how she felt it was beneath her. Um, as the non-father, sir, let me go to you first, real quick. Seeing that, what that post bring up in you? Did
So
you
I
know?
will say, my initial feeling was that what was instilled in me by my parents, which was you crazy. Like you gonna take it and that's it. That was my initial thing. You know, y'all gotta understand. I'm a very old soul. My initial thought process was you gonna take what I give you and you gonna be happy with it. Then I kept reading and I did find some empathy for what the child was saying.
Your fellow member of Gen Z? Let's make that clear.
Right. You know, with said child being 16 and being successful in her right, in her field, in her area, you know, graduating a year early, successful in her education. I mean, I'm assuming that this means that she's meeting all of the qualifications that her parents have set. I get it in a sense of if I get it in the sense of okay, one Christmas. Let me foretell this with this story. I really am going around the world, but I'm getting to a point. One Christmas, I was asking my mom for a PSP. I wanted a PSP. Let's all say the PSP was before its time, but I wanted a PSP. My mom ended up getting me a Nintendo DS. In my head, I was like, oh, no, I did not want a Nintendo. 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 A few months later, you couldn't have forced me to give up my Nintendo because I had fallen so much in love with it and it was more than what I thought it was going to be. I think it just should have been better communicated to the child. that I don't think you understand. I know you're looking at aesthetics and I know you're looking at appearances, but you literally have a car you don't have a car note for. It's a free car. One more time. It's a free car. But let's be real. At 16, we didn't care about free. We cared about quality.
Listen
if
here.
that makes sense.
Listen here. You entitled,
That's not
spoiled
entitlement.
little ass brats.
That's not entitlement. It's not spoiled.
No. Because I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
Nah, bro.
The little girl talking about I deserve.
Deserve is a great word.
First of all, number one, I done bought you this car. I'm dad mode right now. If I was the child's mom, I bought you this car. Did you buy it? Was this your money? Nah, this was my money that I spent for you.
Okay.
Let me talk to you about car insurance. You a new driver because you 16. You new. You ain't been had your license. You maybe got 6 months of practice. So you ain't skilled out here in these streets yet. Really? And insurance gonna be a premium. Are you paying that insurance? No, I'm probably paying that insurance. Number 3. Like I said, you fresh in these streets. You know how many cars get banged up by these young kids? You think I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money on something that just look nice so you can get out here and bang it up? But now let's see how you do with this first. And we will treat it and upgrade as necessary. But you're not gonna sit here and complain on the get that I spent my hard-earned money for simply because you judged that I have a nice car. Well, I work hard for this money, so I bought me a nice car. And I presented you with something that, you can get used to driving in. But if you don't want it, fine. I go somewhere else with it, and you can figure out how to purchase your own nice vehicle and insurance.
But I think one thing that we often do in Black culture in bulk, we'll surprise people with things they didn't ask for and expect them to still be grateful for it.
To some extent, you should be grateful. Because
why would I be grateful for something I didn't ask for?
Taking my dad hat off. Oh, just a little bit. The Buick is janky. I'm not gonna lie, the Buick is janky. But at the same time, like I said, part of me is kind of like, well, one, we don't know all the details here. Like, we're assuming she said nice cars for the mommy and daddy. We're assuming Beamer, Benz, Bentley. Who knows what really it is? It could be a nice Camry,
right.
Or it could be a nice Nissan that is
right.
So we don't necessarily know the economic status here. We don't know the status of this car. And in this car market, things have been a little crazy. Things are overpriced. Without knowing those details, though, it'd be nice to know those details because we can't fully judge whether this was a proper buy.
Right.
But simply, the fact is, you, my daughter, we don't know whether you asked for this car or not.
Right.
I don't think that changes anything. I get that you a car.
I think the ask does.
Why does the ask change it? I
think if she asked for a car, she most definitely 10 out of 10 should keep the car. You asked for a car. I gave you a car. And very much to your point, you're new to this. So I'm not about to.
Oh, that way. Okay, I get what you're going. Okay, I get what you're going.
But if I didn't ask for a car, but you thought that this was the best thing to gift me, and because while it may have been like parental best, it still hadn't been communicated to her why it is the best, if that makes sense. Like, but you're like, we're even in a sense, we're assuming that
if you got your license, you fresh off, and you ain't got no car, and somebody give you a car, what you mean? You need to have asked for it, or you not like get the hell out of here with that. Y'all need to appreciate. Y'all need to appreciate things for what they are sometimes, and that's the problem. I think y'all want to have so many prerequisites or understandings of what everything should be before it even happens, y'all can't appreciate just randomness or when somebody does something nice that you didn't ask for. And yeah, it does, and it doesn't have to hit the mark every time. Sometimes just simply the act is enough. And in this case, the act of giving you a fully functional, paid for car as your first thing that you ain't got to worry about. What's like? Come on now.
But I think that's a part of toxic Black culture, which is be grateful for whatever I give you because you didn't have to pay for it.
Everything is fucking toxic simply because
It's
you don't
not
like it.
everything, but I think, and I'm gonna tell you the only reason why that's toxic. It's because, in a sense, the daughter brought up good points to their merits of what it means to pay for something. She met them.
Here's the problem. No, see, we don't. One, we don't know the two are connected. We don't. So unfortunately, we are missing some critical details out of the story. It would be nice.
Correct.
It would be nice to know. One, was there a prior arrangement? If you hit marks A, B, and C, you get a car, or once again, financial understandings. Knowing, is this a family where the nice car is a BMW or a Beamer or
Right.
something really high end, or the nice car is simply a
A
3 or
fully paid
4 year
off
old
car.
Toyota or Nissan that I know how to keep up and I'm not out here damaging. Those are details that would be critical because we need to understand whether A, mom and dad made a decision that was simply, oh, this is cheap and we're gonna get this because it's cheap, or B, this is a quality
Right.
vehicle at a decent price,
Right.
and it's like we don't know all the details around it.
What I'm saying is, I don't think people should be like, I don't think Black people should be like, oh, I didn't win and bought this cheap gift for you. But still, because I spent this money on it, you should take it and appreciate it.
We're assigning it's cheap. We don't know how much that thing costs.
Right. That's what I'm
And
saying.
like I said,
But I think,
and in this market, a car in any way, shape, or form ain't about to be cheap.
I mean, but they could have bought that from their cousin for $500.
At the end of the day, what's the matter? It's a car for you who has no car.
But like I said, it's about whatever standards were set. The child obviously felt like she exceeded those standards.
What if there's no standards?
That's a hard thing to say then. Like,
No,
that's
no,
great
that's that entitled. Well, I did A, B, and C. What's that got to
because
do with
standards
this?
were held there. But if there's a great
the girl is
area
the girl is excelling. There's no doubt about that. She's very intelligent, graduating. Like, congrats to you. What's that mean?
but that's the only way she could have proven her. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only way.
It ain't about proving nothing. I, as the parental unit, decided to give you this gift.
I don't know. I mean, and maybe this is very much, just that Gen Z
Damn right it is.
It's that non-parenting me that is just kind of like.
So let me, who got you your first car?
My first, let me tell you the sequencing of my first vehicle. My brother was in the military. He bought and paid off in full a 2012 red Impala. He then goes overseas. He gifts this car to my mom. My mom had wrecked her car, so he gave the car to my mom when he went overseas. This car then, when my mom gets a new car, was given to my grandmother. My grandmother then used the car. Mm-hmm. This car was then used after my grandmother got back to us, after my grandmother got a vehicle. This car got back to us. My sister started using this vehicle, and then the car got to me. By the time the car got to me, it had over 300,000 miles on it.
How old was it?
It was a 2012.
But what year is this?
I got this car in 2020. Not an old car at all. Still some things wrong with it, but I was still grateful just to have transportation because I was going everywhere. Doing everything in that car.
Were you asking for a car?
They knew I needed transportation. They didn't want to drive me anymore.
Bam.
They didn't want to drive me anymore.
We don't. Bam. There you go. We bought this car.
Okay, you make a great point. if the need presented itself for me to, let's just say said individual, like girl
You are 16. You got your license and you're excelling at school. I'm going to get you your first car. Bam.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the car. I just want to say that I'm not mad at the car type. I'm not mad at any of that. I think it is a very learnable lesson to be taught. I don't really agree with getting brand new cars off the lot for teenagers as a first vehicle. I don't agree with any of that. Now, I do think, rappers and people of that social status and economic status that do it, more grace to you. But we all must understand 9 times out of 10, the first is always the mistake.
Oh, y'all want to floss on the gram. That's the problem. Y'all need, or the TikTok. Y'all got to look good.
That is a very big portion in it that most definitely is fueling the daughter's anger, which is she's just worried about what people are going to say.
Hey,
that's all she's worried about.
And that's the problem.
She's just worried about what people are going to say.
That's the problem.
But is it really the problem, though? Because that's just...
But once again, without us knowing the details of the circumstances of why that car was picked, or why it was that car, or hell, we don't even know. You know how things be on the internet. I'm gonna make a good story, but man, we're dealing with what we got here. What we got here, we can't judge like that.
Right.
Unfortunately, like I said, it could be that for them, in this economical status, that could be the best thing that they could buy.
Yeah, I'm not shaming that at all. I mean, if my parent and if I had a true now, and that's what I said, if we knew more, it would help us shape this more. But if I knew at 16 that even if my parents were to buy a new car and they worked really hard to save that money to buy their brand new car and it was a nice car and they got me that, I would still be grateful. I would still be very grateful.
There is no scenario where she can be that ungrateful. There is no, and like,
I think her feelings are somewhat validated, but
nobody's saying her feelings aren't validated.
Right.
But in the giving of the gift,
it did not warrant that response.
Does not warrant that response.
If she felt like that, she should have just drove around in the car crying. But saying that I'm not taking the car, I'm not driving in that, it's atrocious.
That's why I said my response as a father is I'm gonna give you a chance to rectify that. Because literally all I need is the appreciation. Is the understanding that this was a gift. You don't have to, I'm not forcing upon it that you have to like it. That you have to feel that it's perfect. You can have those feelings.
This is
But you better be appreciative. Because if you're not appreciative, I'm taking that hoe back. And you can figure that out on your own.
I think one thing that builds so much character development is receiving bad gifts. Receiving bad gifts in your youth will make you a better person in life. Your ability to say, oh my God, thank you so much, and putting a smile on your face at a gift that you do not like is a gift. It's an art.
The fact that you are even qualifying it as a bad gift.
There are such things as bad gifts.
Yes, there are.
There are such things as bad gifts.
Any gift is simply a gift.
Which is why it still warrants a thank you, but it doesn't have to warrant a thank you for long. So the length of my thank you really determines, don't laugh too much. The length of my thank you really determines how much I like the gift. Let's just say somebody gifts you something and it's a piece of clothing. You open it up.
You gonna bring it up anytime if you really like it.
You gonna wear it. You gonna wear it.
All the time.
But if somebody gifts you something that you don't like, baby, that's gonna sit in the closet. Thank you so much for this, but I'm never wearing it. The only time I might wear it is if I know it's something for you and I want to make you feel good. So I'll put it on and you be like, oh my God, you wear what I got you. It looks so good on you. And it'll never touch the light of day but the people who are there. You be avoiding pictures all night. Nah, don't get me in. Let me take the picture.
I think what we learned here today is continued validation of what we do know, that Gen Z is special. In the head.
Special in certain spaces is a great thing.
we are finding that there's very few of those spaces. And once again, that speaks to y'all. That speaks that you ever heard that saying, even a broken clock is right twice a day?
Twice a day. Twice a day.
Y'all are satisfied and aiming for that twice a day. That twice a day used to be bottom of the barrel. For y'all, that's success. Damn, that's a problem.
Just
He
saying.
over
Twice a
there.
day.
Look at him nodding and
Twice a
agreeing.
day. We're right.
Anywho, this is Y and Z conversation between the generations. Jay Clark, the Y here, millennial. Whew. Xavier Lewis, the special Gen Z kid over there. Share, subscribe, please comment below. You got a question, you got to take, fire it off. We'll talk about it here. If you just want to hear our takes on a particular subject,
Yeah.
as long as it won't get me in trouble with my wife, I'm up for it. Anyways, until next week, treat your fathers right out there. No bad gifts for Father's Day.
No, for real. Okay, hold up. We really are about to go. Can we not do that this year? Can we just not do not invalidating anybody's feelings, not invalidating anybody's experiences, but can we just not do the Happy Father's Day to my mama because my daddy was never there? Can we just not? Can
My son's last year gift to me. There we go.
Clark has on one of the best ties I've ever seen in my life from his son.
Hey, here we go. That's right. That's how we do.
Because he's a good dad. There are still prevalent and amazing fathers in communities, period.
Well, we here. We out here. We out here. Black fathers. Active Black fathers. We out here.
Active, man.
Anyways. But yes, Y and Z. Like, share, subscribe. My brother. Appreciate you. Listen to
Always,
that
my guy.
Listen to that Teddy Swims. Get you a.
Nah, bro. I'm about to put on my red lights. Teddy Swims all night long.
What you do in your own time is what you do. Anyways, we out here. Peace out, y'all. Next time.
Peace.